back to my channel. I hope that you're doing well. Welcome to another video and welcome to a vlog. I'm excited for this vlog. You've seen it from the title, you've seen it from the thumbnail. We are rereading House of Earth and Blood by Sarah J. Maas. And of course, when the new book comes out, I will be reading the second book as well and doing a full spoilery-filled review for everything. This is going to be my second reread of this book, so this is going to be my third time reading it, and I'm pumped. I'm excited. I'm over the moon. I'm very excited to share it all with you and document my journey of rereading it and then finally getting my hands on book 2. I did order 3 copies of this book, so if I don't get one on release day, I'm gonna cry. Actual tears. Full-on crocodile ones, okay? I'm also really sad because I ordered tabs to go specifically for this book that kind of go with a nice color scheme, but they didn't come. So we're gonna be putting these in as temporary tabs for now, and then I'll sift through and redo them. But I'm actually just about to get on sprints with my friend Mike, and I'm gonna start my reread. It is Friday. I've had a shit day, but this is about to make it 100 million times better, so I'm very excited to bring you along. I hope that you will enjoy this spoilery filled vlog. If you haven't read this and you're watching this, I hope that either you don't want to read this or you click off, because I don't want to ruin it for you, but we're going to talk all the details, and I'm so excited. So without further ado, let's get into it.
2 a.m. in the car playing our favorite song. Turn it up, windows down, we sing along. The summer night has just begun. The moon is bright, let's have some fun. Oh, this is everything with you right next to me. So alive, and tonight I'm thinking that I don't wanna go. Calling sick in the morning, baby, don't leave. They don't need to know we're out here wild and free. They say we're crazy, it's too much. And yeah, we're crazy, deep in love. Oh, this is everything with you right next to me. So alive, and tonight I'm thinking that I don't wanna go. Oh, this is everything with you right next to me. So alive, and tonight I'm thinking that I don't wanna go. This is everything with you right next to me. So alive, and tonight I'm thinking that I don't wanna go. Child, I know you're hurt and you can't let go. It's not your fault and you don't deserve all the bad and the hurt. I know you tried so hard. I know you've done your part. It's not fair. You did your time. How much longer will you suffer in this life? But don't give up.
I think that was hands down one of the scariest things I've ever done in my entire life. I don't think it's gonna turn out great. The paint was just drying so fast. I'm using acrylic paint. When I watched videos of how to do this, people were using acrylic paint and it was fine, but acrylic paint just dries so freaking fast, and so it was drying on my palette so fast so that I had to keep going over layer after layer after layer. And because this book has Bible thin pages, I'm so afraid that I totally ruined this book. So I'm terrified just a little bit that it's ruined, but it's okay because I have another hardcover copy. That's the one that I'm reading, and then I have a paperback copy. It's fine, and especially because this particular copy is the one that sits right there. So if like I turned it on its face, no one's ever gonna see the pages, so I guess it's fine. But like I really wanted this to turn out cute, and I just don't think it did. But it's been something that I have wanted to do for forever. I've owned 2 copies of this book for probably over a year now. 2 hardcover copies, like with the intention that I was always going to spray the edges, and I finally did it. I'm not sure if it turned out okay. Look at this palette. It's like dry, and I've only been filming for like 10 minutes, and the paint is like completely dry. So we'll see. I'm gonna let this sit for a good amount of time. See how it turned out. I'm so scared. Okay, I'm about to take the clamps off. This is dry. It's only been like 30 minutes, but it's definitely dry. But I can already see, some issues. This is gonna be one for the books, for sure. Oh man. She's... I'm not sure these pages will ever become unstuck. Holy crap.
Just hold on tight. It'll be alright. All your life you've tried to be a good man inside.
So I've decided that if you look at it from really far away, you cannot tell. But don't get up close. It's not great. Actually, the tops and bottoms are a lot better than the middle section. But it has sprayed edges now. I mean, I just don't know that I would ever do this again. I literally was sitting here for 30 minutes tearing the pages apart. And when I mean tearing, I mean actually tearing. There are several pages in here that are no longer wholly intact. I have made a mistake here, and I accidentally tore the paper off of here. That was part of the design, but that's because masking tape just didn't want to come off. And yeah, I also have a dent in here from the press that I used. There's some white paint on the back side of this that I tried to use to cover up the red that I put on there. It's all pretty much a hot mess. Love this for me. It's not terrible. It's just not great either. Sad times, but it's okay. You live and you learn. I just wish that I would have lived and learned with a different with a different book. But I think honestly, it had a lot to do with the fact that these are Bible thin, and when you tear them, it was like the edges of the paper were like fraying a little bit because they're so thin. I think if I did this with a thicker book, it would have been a little bit better and easier, but that was not the case. So again, look at it from afar, and then it's not too bad, but just don't get close. Okay, thanks. I'm gonna go get ready. I have a few parties to go to tonight, and then I'm gonna come back and get some more reading done. So I will talk to you then. Hi friends, so it's been a little while, and I was editing this video when I realized that I'm not good at this, and I'm sorry. If you were coming to this video for like the most in-depth, you know, detailed spoilery video from me, I think I realized I don't know how to do that. Like, I've never done a spoilery type vlog before, and so like I'm a good chunk of the way through this book, and I think the last time I talked to you was on page like 65. So I'm gonna sit down, I'm gonna talk you through kind of where I'm at with the story, my feelings, with my third time reading this book, and like kind of my thought process and my experience with this next reread, and my excitement for book 2. And then we're gonna get into the ending of this book, which is kind of where the most spoilery things happen. And I'm very excited to share that experience with you. And then, of course, tomorrow is release day. Today is Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day. But tomorrow is for the 15th. It's release day. And I'm very, very excited. So I'm really hoping to sit down and knock out a good portion of this book today. I'm hoping to finish it. If I can finish it today, that would be great. If not, I have a little bit of time to read this tomorrow. I'm not sure if I'm going to get my physical copy of the book tomorrow. So I'm hoping that I will, since I ordered 3 copies. Hoping at least one of them will arrive to me. But we shall see. Anyways, I think the last time I talked to you was right after the Pack and Danica were completely slaughtered and Bryce found them in her old apartment. And you follow her through her grieving experience basically on the very first day when she finds out that Danica is dead. And she ends up saving somebody on the street that was also attacked by the demon that she thought killed Danica. And so she's running after this demon down the streets in a drug-induced haze. Like, she is drugged up. She just came back from the club where she did some pretty regrettable things. At the club, she was hanging out and having sex with somebody in the bathroom right after she promised Connor, which is one of the wolf packs one of the person in the wolf pack that she was going to finally like break down and date him. And during that time, they were all getting slaughtered. And so that really comes back to haunt Bryce in the future. But anyways, she ends up saving an angel on the street that was attacked by the Crystallos demon. And then she's brought to the interrogation room where people are kind of asking her, like, what happened? Do you know what happened? How did this happen? You kind of see the experience of her being hollowed out by the death of her best friend as well as her subsequent friends from the pack. And then you jump to 2 years later where Bryce is working in the same place. She works in an antiquities dealer where she deals with really rare and expensive artifacts. The murders pop up again 2 years later. But the person that they caught and put behind bars for the murder of the Pack of Devils is behind bars. Like, he's there, so they're like, who is committing these new murders and why are they popping back up again? So Micah, the governor, the like most powerful archangel, decides to put Bryce and Hunt, who is a fallen angel, on the case. Hunt is basically like a bodyguard, ensured to make sure that the case gets solved, and Bryce is the middleman between the victims that have been popping up. Obviously Danica and the new victims, and so she's put on the case. And so you kind of follow Bryce through her emotional turmoil as she kind of is reliving the aspects of her best friend's death while also trying to hunt down the person that did this to them. And so it's a very interesting balance between this world-building experience as well as the murder mystery plot that is this book, on top of the angsty will they, won't they, push and pull type relationship happening between Bryce and Hunt. And you're kind of finding out a lot of things that Bryce never wanted to know about Danica. As a best friend, she thought that they were really close, and things start to come out about Danica's experience with some of the things going on in their lives that she didn't know about. And the big leading factor that kind of tied the two timelines together is Luna's horn. Luna's horn was stolen a couple months before Danica was killed, and the night that Danica died, Bryce was actually supposed to be out looking for the horn. And you find that 2 years later, the horn is a really a constant thread throughout the murder investigation, because Bryce's brother, who everyone has known as her cousin because she has not been claimed by their father, who is the Autumn King, a very, very important person in this world, he refused to claim her as a daughter because she's an illegitimate child and she doesn't really have any power, and it would cause a lot of issues. So Rune is also on the hunt for the horn. Micah also wants to find the horn. Jessica, which is Bryce's boss, is also looking for the horn. So you know that this piece of ancient history is very, very important, but you don't really know why. You know that the horn is broken. You know that there are things happening and things being put in place to find the horn, but you don't really know what the importance of the horn is. Just that if it's found, it can cause a lot of death and destruction and cause somebody to gain a lot of power if they had it in their possession. But you find out, like, about 30-40% of the way into the book, that Danica actually stole the horn. And so Bryce is trying to figure out all of the things that she didn't know about Danica and her movements and her motivations and kind of what she was hoping to attain by stealing the horn. Still nobody knows, but you know that Sabine, her mother, who actually hates Bryce, like wants to kill her, covered for Danica the night that she stole the horn. And so you're trying to figure out, like, what are the motivations? Why are these things happening? Why is everything connected? You also know that Rune, who is Bryce's brother, is a Starborn Fae. He has the power that not many people have before him, but he's not very powerful with this unknown power that he has. He's only able to, like, summon a small spark of light, whereas Starborn Fae is supposed to be able to be the most powerful of his kind. And so you're kind of following his story, where he's trying to balance between being like this Starborn prince, as well as the tumultuous relationship that he has with Bryce. And then you're following Hunt, who has a really tough past. He ended up heading a rebellion about 100 years ago, which caused him to become a fallen angel and be imprisoned and basically owned as a slave by many other people in the past. Micah is now his new owner, and he has a deal with Micah that he has to kill as many people from Micah as he killed in Shahara's rebellion. And the catch is, if he helps Bryce find the killer and subsequently find the horn, that he'll narrow his kills down to 10. Previously, he had like 2,000, and if he does this, if he succeeds, he'll only have 10 kills left, and then he'll be free. And so you're kind of following Hunt as he deals with the emotional trauma that comes from being what he is. He's a very powerful fallen angel. He has a power that nobody else has. He has the ability to summon and wield lightning, and he's a very, very powerful individual, and people are scared of him. They call him the Umbra Mortis, the Shadow of Death. And you're kind of following all these perspectives. You have the sexual tension between Hunt and Bryce, and they are now living together in a close quarters, confined space where they are forced to deal with each other day in and day out, and they're starting to find that they're more kindred spirits than they really originally thought. They have both gone through something very extreme. They have both lost people that are very important to them, and they feel very lost in the world, and they seem to connect in a way that nobody else really has. And so you're following these three experiences as they kind of go through the steps to solve this murder and figure out how Bryce and Hunt and Danica are all connected to each other in different ways, as well as to the horn. And it's kind of hard to explain. It's a very intense fantasy plotline, and the world is very big and expansive, and there's a lot of stuff that I think that Miss Mass is going to expand on as the books continue. But I'm very much enjoying my reread. I think that every time that I read this book, it reminds me why I love Sarah J. Maas's writing so much. She really has the ability to write characters that have so much depth and personality and experience and pain that make them feel tangible, like so freaking real. And the relationship between Danica and Bryce, their friendship, is absolutely beautiful, but also so heart-wrenchingly sad, because you know that this friendship is no longer a thing. You're seeing everything from the past and seeing the experiences and the memories from Bryce's, memories. She's trudging up all of this stuff from her past. It's super painful because obviously Bryce and Danica were so close, but watching her go through the steps to let her go, but also to continue to love the person that she was before her murder, is just such an interesting aspect. I think that the topic of grief and trauma is talked about really, really well in this book, and something that Sarah J. Maas has kind of built upon in her books. She talked about it really well in A Court of Silver Flames. I feel like in this one she built that up even more. Trauma and death really affecting a person and changing the way that they see the world. And I'm just really, really enjoying it. This is a very, very long clip. I definitely should have updated you more throughout my reading experience, and I'm sorry for that, but I will definitely be reading more tonight and giving you updates as I go. It's really hard to kind of explain everything. I really should have updated you better, but I'm enjoying it. Hopefully I will be able to give you some more spoilery thoughts when I get to the second book, because obviously I'll be reading that for the first time and you can get my play-by-play experience of how I'm actually feeling about the book. But I'm going to sit down, update you guys as I read, and try to finish this beast of a book. Okay, I just got to page 560, chapter 61. And I know it's coming, and I'm sad, and I don't want it to happen. But we basically just learned that Danica may have had a big part to play in this really dangerous synthetic drug that has been taking over the city in more ways than one. And synth was actually something that was offered to Bryce the day that Danica died, and she didn't take it. But it's definitely something that's kind of wiggled its way through the entire plotline of the story. it's important, but I'll talk about that when we get there. But I just think it's really interesting. This reread especially, I have definitely picked up on a lot more foreshadowing that Sarah J. Maas put into this book than I did my first reread. There's just so many things that I really missed. Hunt and Bryce's relationship has really grown. The sexual tension is palpable, tangible. It's just I wish they would fuck already, but alas, that is not the case in this book. But the relationship between the two of them has just grown so much to a point of respect, and they are friends more than anything, which is so incredible to watch. And Danica, it would have been her 25th birthday, the day that they're celebrating, and Bryce always goes and buys croissants for her. And the wolf packs hate Bryce for what she did the night that Connor and Danica were all murdered. And so when she went to go pick up her croissants, one of the werewolves altered the message. Instead of saying happy birthday, they wrote trash on it. And Hunt went and defended her honor and was like, bitch, I'll kill you. But I also know there's consequences that come from Hunt making that decision, because he basically just threatened one of the biggest alphas in the entire wolf pack. And his wings get cut off, and I am not looking forward to that scene because it hurts. But also, after that scene, some steamy stuff happens, so maybe I am looking forward to it. But I'm just not ready for the hurt and the pain. I know that, this part, 550 and on, is just pain. Pain all the way through. There's probably going to be some tears. I'm not ready for it. I also got a late start on reading. It's 9:45 right now, and I should have started reading at 8 o'clock. So I'm probably not going to finish this tonight, but I'm going to try my hardest.
That you thought you should didn't seem to do you any good. I know you've tried so.
I just got to one of my favorite scenes in this whole book, and I explained earlier that seeing the friendship between Danica and Bryce is one of my favorite things about this book. And I just got to the point where it's revealed that Bryce went to the Bone Quarter to give up her place in the Bone Quarter for Danica. She traded her place in the Bone Quarter to make sure that Danica could cross safely over and live in the Eternal City forever. And the scribe that is there is telling her, your life is short, and you're making a big mistake. You think your life is long, but in the grand scheme of things, this is a short life, and once you die, you can never go to the Eternal City. This is it. And she just repeats over and over, I wish to trade my place. I wish to trade my place for Danica. I want her to have it. And it's just so freaking heart-wrenching to see her care so much about one singular person that obviously meant so much to her. And it's one of my favorite scenes in the entire book. Every time I get to this, my heart hurts so bad. So, I just love them so much. Okay, sorry if you hear Bailey playing with her toy, but she's got it over there. I was going to stay up and try to finish this. I made it pretty far in. I have 2 hours left of the audiobook. I'm on page 585, and we just got to the point where the entire time the quote, "Through love all is possible," has been sprinkled throughout the novel. And as you guys know, I absolutely love that quote. I do have a tattoo on my arm that says it. It's my favorite quote in the entire book. But we just figured out what that quote meant to Danica, aside from it being really important to their friendship. But Danica always wore a leather jacket that had that quote stitched to the back. And Danica had a file when she worked at Fendir Industries, which is the company that created synth, basically, which is the drug that has been going around. When she worked there, she had created a bunch of files and created a whole bunch of, collected a whole bunch of evidence on this company and hid it into the quote on the back of the jacket that Bryce has been wearing for 2 years, but she didn't know it was in there. So you're just finding out that Danica had all of this information about synth and what it's been doing to people for a good amount of time, and Bryce didn't know. So she's just finding out what all of that information is. She's about to give it off to Hunt. Hunt did get his wings cut off, and oh, it hurted me. It hurted. Also, like, I'm really enjoying watching the evolution between Bryce and her brother Rune. They have a really terrible relationship at the beginning of the book. They had a really big fight and a falling out years ago, and they have never been able to reconnect. And so throughout the entirety of the book, you're seeing them like reconnect and create a better relationship as siblings, even though nobody knows that they're related. So I'm just having a great time with this, finding out so many things that I missed the first time, and being hurt again by Sarah J. Maas. Like, I'm not ready. But I'm hoping I can wake up tomorrow and get like an hour done of reading, and then I'll come home, get an hour done, because I only have 2 hours left, finish off this, and then hopefully start House of Sky and Breath, even though I'm scared to start it. But we'll see.
I know you've done your part. It's not fair. You did your time. How much longer will you?
So, I did it. I shouldn't have, but I did. I bought a 4th copy of this book. Self-Control. Who is she? We don't know her. Yeah, I'm having the best time. I'm living my best life. This book is gorgeous. Like, so unbelievably beautiful. I'm obsessed with it. I need to take these damn Target stickers off, but it's stunning. I will not be keeping this copy. I know. Shook. I wanted to buy it because I want to read the exclusive chapter. This is the Target exclusive, so there's a chapter from Therian at the back of this book. But once I get through this book, I'm not going to read this physical copy. Once I get through it and I read Therian's chapter, I'm actually going to use this as a giveaway book. So whoever wants to win this book is going to be able to win it. Yay for you. I don't know if I'm going to do it in this video or if I'm going to do it in my haul, but there will be a giveaway for the second book. So I'm sure somebody out there really wants to read it and cannot get their hands on it, so I'm going to send it to somebody that wants to enjoy the book just like I do. Oh, it's stunning. It's so beautiful. I'm so excited. But I still have not finished House of Earth and Blood. I was supposed to wake up early this morning to read it. I did no such thing. No, ma'am. I actually slept in late and ended up being late to work. So, it'd be like that. So I'm going to go home today. I'm going to hang out with my grandma for a little bit, go to dinner, and then I'm going to finish up House of Earth and Blood. And then I will try to get a start on House of Sky and Breath tonight. I don't know how far I am going to get into it. I have no idea. I do have the audiobook already. I pre-ordered it. Including this copy, I own 6 copies of this book. I own 3 like regular editions. I own the tour edition, which is coming in the next 10 to 15 days. I also own the ebook and the audiobook. Is that 6? Yeah, that's 6. It's terrible. I'm a terrible person with 0 self-control. But at least I won't be keeping all of them. I'm just gonna keep 3. I'm gonna keep 3 physical copies. Don't worry, it's fine. And when the paperback comes out, I'll be buying that as well. So eventually I'll have 4. It's a problem. I don't want to talk about it. Hi friends, I figured I would bring you around for round number 2. This should be my Books A Million package. You drove me sticker! I know I shouldn't be as excited. I've already seen it, but it's just like, it's so exciting. It literally takes up the whole box. The whole thing. It's stunning. The joy, the joy. Okay, I can't remember which special edition this is, so we are about to find out. Let's see. This one is Runes. This is Runes, has a special chapter in here. So excited. So excited. I will be taking off this BAM sticker because I don't understand. I get it's exclusive, whatever. Why put a sticker on there? Why put a sticker on there? Please explain it to me. But other than that, I'm so excited. Round number 2. I still have 2 more to come.
But don't give up. Just hold on tight. It'll be alright.
Somebody give me a cold shower. That scene is so hot. Oh my god. We finally got some action between Hunt and Bryce. It wasn't the action that I wanted, but it's close enough, and it's all we're gonna get in this book, so I'll take it, but hot damn! Oh, okay, back to it. It's literally been 5 minutes since I talked to you last, and we had that great scene between Hunt and Bryce, and then Sarah J. Maas just loves to hurt your heart. So, obviously, things have happened between Bryce and Hunt, and they're getting it on, they're getting freaky deaky, and then you get to the next chapter, and you find out that there is a deal going down, a synth deal that is happening, and things are happening, and you find out that Hunt is on this synth deal. He is buying synth. Now, I know where this leads, but for when I read this the first time, oh sweet lord, I died inside. My whole soul was ripped to shreds, and I cannot go through this again. Things are about to get crazy from here on out, and I know it, and I'm so terrified. There's one scene that I'm just not ready for, but we're getting there. We're getting there. Oh, there's so many things to talk about. Basically, Bryce found out that Hunt knew for weeks what happened to Danica, and that she killed the pack of devils. She took synth, and synth gives you Bailey's barking, sorry. Synth gives you heightened powers and strength, and Danica took the synth and tore the pack apart, and then turned on herself and tore herself apart. So Danica was the one that killed the pack of devils. And Hunt had known for a week before this deal went down with the synth, and he didn't tell Bryce. And obviously, Bryce is understandably very upset, and Hunt ends up getting traded back to Sandriel, who used to be his owner before Micah, and she is known for being cruel and doing things to Hunt that are unspeakable. Bryce decides to trade herself for Hunt, and Rune comes in and stops the whole thing, and there's a line that Hunt says to Bryce so that she'll stop fighting for him, and he says, "I owe you nothing, you owe me nothing, don't ever come looking for me again." And oh my god, it just breaks my heart. I love them so much, and to see them hurt so much for each other is just so fucking heartbreaking, and I just need it to stop. Oh, it's about to happen, y'all, and I'm not ready. I'm just not ready.
I tried so hard. I know you've done your part. It's not fair. You did your time. How much longer will you suffer in this life? But don't give up. Just hold on tight. It'll be alright.
I don't want to be here anymore. Oh, okay, I've taken a little time, got my emotions together, but basically, I just passed the scene where Micah has stepped away from the summit where all of the big profile people go once a year to discuss changes that need to be made throughout the government. He stepped away and he goes to talk to Bryce at her job, and basically he admits, oh sweet lord, hold on one second. He admits to killing Danica and being behind everything that happened with the synth, with Danica's death, with the pack of devils, with the Crystallis demon, everything. Micah was behind the whole thing. If you don't remember who Micah is the governor of Crescent City, and he admitted to everything, and Bryce had texted her boss Jessica, who happened to be at the summit, to turn on the camera feed. So everyone at the summit heard exactly what Micah said and how he basically set Hunt and Danica and Bryce up for everything that kind of went down. And she also learned that she is the horn that's been stolen, that they've been looking for this whole time. Danica ended up breaking the horn down into dust and putting it into Bryce's tattoo that they got 2 weeks before Danica died. And this whole time, the horn has been Bryce. And the plan was for Micah to inject her with synth so that she would eventually tear herself apart. But before that, she would power the horn, open up a portal to other worlds to bring death and destruction to help him free his people or whatever. But Bryce ends up getting away, and she only gets away because Lahaba, who is a fire sprite that has worked at the antiquities place that Bryce has worked at, It's one of Bryce's really close friends. She's a fire sprite. She's very, very cute. She basically sacrifices herself and she dies to save Bryce and to help her get enough time to save herself and to save Syrinx, which is a chimera. And that scene gets me every time. Like, it fucking hurts. I don't know why Sarah J. Maas does this to me, but, like, HOEAB is one of my favorite characters in the entire book, and to watch her die, it just hurts so bad. But Bryce is still in the thick of it. Micah is not dead. He's just slowed down for the time being. And obviously Bryce isn't injected with synth right now, so she's trying to race the clock in order to get to the antidote that she has up in Jessica's office. And spoiler alert, this is spoilers, she's gonna kill Micah, and I'm excited for that freaking scene because that bitch needs to die. Alright, I finished it. First of all, let's talk about those tabs. Holy shit. Like, I think that's one of my most tabbed books I've ever done. It looks fantastic. Besides the point, we have a lot to talk about. I need to catch you up to the ending of this book. And if you've made it to this point of the video, you're a true one, because I'm pretty sure this video is going to be long, but I asked you what you wanted, and this is what you wanted, so this is what you're getting. So, okay. The last thing I told you was that Micah was dead. Fuck that bitch. He deserved to die. Bryce literally vacuumed his ashes up in a vacuum and threw it outside. Yes, he deserved nothing more than that. I fucking love it. Okay, then, when Micah shot his power into Bryce's back to activate the horn, they thought that it didn't work. But as Bryce stepped outside, she realized that portals would open up into hell, and demons were running amok. And Bryce put on her battle suit like the badass bitch that she is, and went out to slaughter those bitches to save the day. And then things happen. Hunt is pissed. He ends up working with one of the queens, who's also a med witch, and he got his slave band taken off his forehead, and he ended up killing Sandriel, which is the girl that took over as Hunt's owner after Micah gave him away. She did. Fuck that bitch too. Okay, thank you. And then Hunt went on a mission to go save Bryce. And Bryce was fighting to her last tooth and nail to save everybody, to save all the children, to save as many people as she could, getting them into bunkers to save them. Ian, who was Connor's brother, who hated her for what he did to Connor, she did to Connor, ended up coming to, like, fight by her side, and it was amazing. She ended up saving him, pushing him into one of the bunkers, and it closed, and all the bunkers in the city were closed, and she was on her own. So she decided to go to the square, which has, like, this powery thing. She put her hand on it, and she ended up closing one of the biggest portals. But she was exhausted and tired, and basically the extra forces were coming in to bomb the city and to kill everything in its wake, the demons and whoever was left out of the bunkers included. And Bryce happened to be left out, and so Hunt leaped from, oh my god, it hurts me. He leaped from the helicopter, shielded Bryce with his body, and he ended up getting, like, blown to bits. And what was left of him was, like, his upper half, and his, like, arms and legs were blown off, and he had a hole in his chest, and he was dying. But the bombs that they set off, they slow the healing powers, so he was literally bleeding out and dying. And Bryce went and showed the whole world that Rune is not the Starborn Fae prince. Bryce is actually the Starborn Fae princess. She has more power than anybody in this world, and she'd kept it a secret for ages. The only people that knew were Danica, her mom, and Randall, which is her stepdad. And she ended up making the drop. The drop is basically, you drop into, like, a voidless place. You clock how much power you have, and then you have to make the ascent back up. And when you make the ascent back up, if you make the ascent back up, then you are basically immortal. You can heal. And Bryce had never made the drop because she wanted to make it with Danica. And she puts her hand on the star. She's calling out to people to tell somebody to help her make the drop, because when you make a drop, you need an anchor. Nobody has ever made the drop and come back out without an anchor. And you hear somebody say, light it up, and that was her and Danica's, like, term of endearment. They always said it to each other, and Bryce thinks that she's imagining it, and then you just hear Danica say, light it up, light it up, Bryce, light it up, bitch, and it's Danica's last, like, little sliver of soul left in the mortal world, and she was the person that anchored Bryce to do her drop. Technically, it's not allowed, not supposed to happen, but she ended up making the drop, finding out that she's the most powerful Fae, even more powerful than her father, the Autumn King. And she makes the drop, and she has her one final last goodbye with Danica. And when she makes the drop, everybody that makes the drop has like a burst of light that comes from making the drop. It's like giving back to the city. But her light was so powerful that she ended up building the city back to what it was with her power, as well as healing everybody that was still alive out on the streets, Hunt included, so he did not die, thank God. And she says goodbye to Danica, and she makes the ascent, and she comes back, and she's alive. And then the last thing that you kind of see before things kind of fade to black is the big government people called and told Bryce, like, we are going to make sure that Hunt is a free person, but this is your, like, gift to stay in line. You literally are the most powerful person. You have the Starborn light. You yield the horn. Like, you're a powerful bitch, and we don't want you stepping out of line. So they end up making Hunt a free person. He's no longer a slave to the Asteri. And they're living the good life now, even though they know that shit is about to go down, because nothing with that much fallout comes with no consequences. So they're ready for that, but they don't quite know what the fallout is. Neither do we. And you leave off on the epilogue where you meet one of the powerful beings. I forget what he is, but we met him earlier. He's like a god that he's like the devil, basically. He is one of the people that controls hell, and he's talking to Jessica, which is Bryce's employer, and he's asking if she hid all the books that they had in the Antiquities library down in the basement, but also like why he never told her about Bryce. It seems like he knew a lot before anyone else knew, and Jessica's like, why didn't you tell me? And then the last line is like, don't fuck it up this time. Like, we need to get this right. So something's happening between him and Jessica, and I'm confused, but I'm ready. It's time. You guys, it's time to finally jump into book 2. And I don't know if I should cry or be excited. I don't know what I'm doing, but I live my best life. I think I got it all. I might have missed some things. It's a big book with a lot of things going on, lots of details to talk about, but I got the main points. The book is done. I cried multiple times. When I first read the scene between Lahaba, with Hunt being almost killed, and then Danica coming back to anchor Bryce, when I first read that, I was up at 3 o'clock in the morning, sobbing my little eyes out. So I'm not ready for book 2, but I'm gonna do it. I don't think I'm gonna tab. I think I'm gonna wait to tab when I do my second read of the book. I want to just go into this and just spend my time reading the pages, not worrying about things I need to tab, but I'm sure there'll be plenty of wonderful things, and I'm just so excited. So it is currently 8:03 on Wednesday, the 16th, and I'm going to start reading House of Sky and Breath.
When we wake, hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side our fears are done. Oh, the good times just begun.
Okay, interesting. I just read the prologue. We learned about 3 new characters, maybe 4. Sophie, who is apparently a Thunderbird. She has the ability to harness any type of power. Those type of powers haven't been heard of in centuries. Nobody knew they still existed, so interesting. But apparently she's not the only one. She has been spying for this group of rebels, but she went into like this slave camp that's in the middle of the war with the Asteri to go find her brother, who was taken years before. He also has a Thunderbird powers, and so she ends up saving him, but she also brought like 13 other kids that were at that camp with her, alongside another operative, and she calls him Silver. Don't know what he does yet, but I'm assuming we're gonna find out at some point. And you also follow Pippa, who is kind of like a leader in this legion of people that are trying to overthrow the Asteri and stop the war. Sophie ends up saving her brother, but she ends up getting taken by the Hind, who is somebody that we have heard of in passing through in the first book of the series. And so I'm curious to see if we're going to learn more about the Hind, because she seems like a bad bitch, not in a good way, like fuck her. But she ends up killing Sophie, because Sophie had ended up finding out some information, really important information, that she had found out before she went into that place to get her brother and the children. And the Hind kept asking her, who did you tell the information to before you went in to this camp? And she said nobody. She didn't tell anybody. And so she's like, fine, I will kill you and the information will die with you. And she throws her into the sea. She's like tied up and her power is spent because she used so much of her power trying to save everybody else. So I'm curious if she's actually dead, if we're going to hear more from this Sophie chick. I have no idea how this plays into the story. I'm very, very curious. But that was just the prologue. We're getting into part 1 called The Chasm. And it is Bryce's point of view. I'm not ready. First of all, dying. Second of all, Rune just got his first chapter, and I am dying by how this has started already. Like, seriously? This says, Rune Dannon knew 3 things with absolute certainty. 1, he had smoked so much mirth root that he couldn't feel his face, which was a damn shame because there was a female currently sitting on it. He had downed an obscene amount of whiskey because he had no idea what the female's name was, or how they got into his bedroom, or how he wound up with his tongue between her legs. He really fucking loved his life, at least right now. Like, I have been waiting for more Rune chapters, and this is exactly what I wanted. Oh my god. But basically what we've learned is there are new archangels that are coming to take the place of Micah and Sabine. And the one that's coming to rule over Crescent City, nobody's really heard of her or really what she is all about. She seems to be too nice, too good to be true. So that's basically all we've seen. Bryce and Hunt have put together a pact that they're not going to do anything sexual with each other until after the winter solstice, which is 4 months away. And, excuse me, Sarah J. Maas, ma'am, I waited a whole 800 pages for them to get together in the first book, and you're telling me 4 months? No, I don't deserve this. No. I will throw this book. We just got introduced to a new character. His name is Cormac. I don't give a fuck about him. But the bombshell that he just threw. Rune asks him, why are you here? He bows, turns to Bryce, and says, I'm here to meet my bride. Sarah J. Maas, ma'am, I will rage if she does not end up with Hunt. I will rage. She better not do this to me. I'm angry. Like, my chest hurts. I'm pissed. Okay. I'm gonna get back to this, but I swear to God, I'm gonna lose it. Okay, this is the reading look you're getting from me today. I was tired of wearing my wig for the day, so bonnet time it is. I haven't busted this baby out in a while, but I'm about to sit down and pick back up House of Sky and Breath. I did get to page 99 last night. Let's see. What did I learn? Therian had his own chapter, which is new. We love that for him. And he got tasked with going down to the bottom of the sea to find Sophie's body. But when he got there, the chains were open and there was no body to be found. So I'm thinking, she's alive. She's alive and she's about to come back and wreak some havoc on this world, which I'm very excited for. I'm still not happy about, apparently, Bryce's betrothed. Fuck that bitch. But I did just watch the interview that Sarah J. Maas did for her tour thing. And she has me thinking that we're going to have some Bryce and Hunt sexy times real soon. Apparently she said there is 500% more sex in this book. I'm ready.
We know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright.
You think that the connections to Danica have long passed now that we have finished with her story? Oh no. We just found out Therian is doing some research on Sophie and her brother. The River Queen has kind of ordered him to do this, and so he's looking into this and finds out that Danica had been messaging with Sophie 6 months before she died about like a rendezvous spot that's safe in Crescent City when she gets whatever packets that she needed to get secure, that if she needed somewhere to come to be safe, she could come to a place in Crescent City. Therian hasn't figured out what that place is just yet because it's very cryptic, but to know that Danica has been talking with Sophie 6 months before she died. Like, you know, the connections are never ending, and I'm loving it. Sarah J. Maas is a master. She wins. She wins. What the fuck is happening? Like, seriously, what the fuck is happening? I'm confused. My brain hurts. I don't know what's happening. How do I even explain it to you? I don't know how to explain it. Cormac is the betrothed, is a agent for the rebellion, and Emil and Sophie, Bryce wants to go look for them, but she was told by the Asteri to lay low because they let her live, but if she does anything out of pocket, they will kill her. And she wants to go look for Emil and Sophie, but if she does that, that's basically aiding a rebel agency, and so she can't do that without causing issues with the Asteri. And then the Prince from Hell, he just showed up, and Ethan, who was Connor's brother, is now living with Bryce. I don't remember how much I told you, but my brain hurts. I'm honestly confused. The 4-month pact has been broken early. Best day ever. They got some kissy sexy times. They had to unfortunately stop because technically Bryce is engaged, and we just found out some shit that means that they have to stay fake engaged until the time being. But we met a particular soldier for the rebel group at the beginning of the book. Sophie called him Silver. Silver is Cormac. He's an agent, and he's in love with Sophie, and that's the whole reason why he wanted to come to Crescent City, was in hopes to find Emil, which is Sophie's brother, but also to see if Sophie was alive. And obviously everything is still connected to Danica. There's a lot of things that need to be talked about. I have a lot of questions, but I'm going to stop for the night. I'm trying to savor this book. I don't need to rush it. I don't need to get through it to the end. I just need to take my time and read it when I'm ready. And right now I'm ready to take a break. I need to do some editing. I want to work on my secret writing project and spend some time for myself. So that's what I'm going to do. But I'm so excited. I'm having the best time. Honestly, the best time. So it happened. We just had our first oral sex scene. Not full on penetration. But hot damn. Okay, Miss Maas, we see you. It was hot. Holy shit. But as normal fashion, it was interrupted by Ethan Holstrom yelling from the other side of the house, like, I hear you. I got ears. It's happening. And I heard from Sarah J. Maas that I believe their first sex scene happens on the water. So I believe it's an underwater sex scene. Not sure how that happens or how that works, but I'm very excited for it. So when's it gonna happen? I don't know. But Pollux and the other bad archangel are in town. We found some notes from college research that Danica did in a hidden compartment in the coffee table that was in the living room. Ethan was playing around with Danica's sword and ended up breaking the table, and they found those notes. Don't really know what it pertains to just yet, but it is another clue that Sarah J. Maas is dropping throughout this story. And Rune has decided to work with, I forget his name, the angel guy that's, not the angel, the fae that's betrothed to Bryce, Cormac, has decided to work with Cormac with his mind speak, to aid the rebellion, which is very, very dangerous. They're walking on thin lines here. So I'm very nervous. I'm very curious to see where this is going to go. But I swear to God, if Rune dies, I'm tapping out. I can't do it. At this point, I really don't know what is too much to share and too little to share. This video is so long already, so if you wanted to hear all the details, you're getting it. Rune was just kidnapped by a Reaper. It's basically these ghouly guys that look like Reapers. I don't know how else to explain that. The Grim Reapers kidnapped Rune and took him down to a sewer and was basically telling Bryce that the Prince of Hell is ready to wage war and he wants a worthy opponent, and that worthy opponent is apparently Bryce. Adis, who is another Prince of Hell, is basically telling Bryce and Rune, and Hunt really, that they all need to tap into their powers and learn how to control it and learn that they have so much more of their powers that haven't been tapped into. And they need to be working on that, or they're not going to be a worthy adversary to help in this war that is rapidly brewing. And so there's so many things going down and so many ties that are being put together, but apparently the Prince of Hell is also looking for Sophie and Emil. Whatever this kid can do, it's obviously a big deal because everybody and their fucking mother is looking for him. So I'm very curious to see how this is going to play out, but I'm very, very confused. I don't know what ties Sarah is trying to make here and where the story is going. There's a lot of things left open to interpretation, and I'm very, very curious about it. Also, Tharian and Ethan are now working together. I was thinking that maybe Ethan might go work with Rune, but seems that's not the case. He has a interest in this case because he's really trying to fill a hole that he has now that he's a lone wolf. He has no pack. And you're kind of seeing the same type of loss that Bryce experienced in the first book. You're seeing Ethan go through that in a totally different way. Obviously, he lost his brother, but now with the loss of his pack, he doesn't really have anywhere to go, and he feels very alone in a broader sense of the word. So, curious to see how that plays out. I'm in awe of her writing. She's literally spectacular, and I don't understand how she can tie all this shit into each other and make it make sense. Like, round of applause. Okay, you were propped in a very precarious position. I was just about to sit down and work on some stuff for my bingo game, but I got a package, and I'm pretty sure it's my next copy of House of Sky and Breath, so I figured I would open it with you guys. I mean, I'm guessing that's what it is, although it's coming from Barnes & Noble, and I don't remember pre-ordering anything from Barnes & Noble, so I guess we will find out together. Oh, come on. Well, that definitely didn't go as planned. Ugh. It's my tour edition. I'm gonna cry. Hold on. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god! Oh my god, my little sweaty hands are getting all over it. Ew. Okay, wait, hold on. How do I do this without messing it up? Here it is, y'all. It has a ribbon bookmark. It has a dark blue. You can't even see that. Dark blue ribbon bookmark. How exciting. It smells like paint. Like really bad. But here it is. Stop. Light it up, bitch. Oh my god. Oh, I'm dying. I'm sad this is not signed, but it is the tour edition, and I'm very excited to have it. Oh, I didn't expect it to come in so soon. This is the best day. Ah! This is the best day ever is what I meant to say before my entire tripod situation just decided to yeet itself from its current location. Stay. But yes, here it is. Oh my god, it's gorgeous. I'm obsessed. I wish that I had the original tour edition for House of Earth and Blood, but alas, it didn't end up happening, and I cannot find like anybody selling it anywhere. So I don't know why. It smells so bad. It's the paper that smells weird. Interesting. But yes, I was not expecting that. Very happy to have it. Oh my gosh, how exciting. I'm going to go back to what I was doing, but what a wonderful thing to have. Oh no, my page is bent. It's okay, I'll fix it later. All right, love you. I'm gonna stop rambling now. Okay, so I just got to chapter 30 of House of Sky and Breath. I am currently on sprints with Hope, Karina, and Trin. We're all hanging out and doing some 24-hour readathon sprints for a smudathon that we're currently hosting. So this doesn't quite fit in my smudathon plans, but I needed a break from what I was reading, so I switched back to this one. Granted, there is some smut in here, so I will take it. But I just got to the part where Bryce and Hunt went to the Bone Quarter, which is basically where the souls go to pass over into what they call the Sleeping City. So if we're making comparisons, it's basically like the in-between before you move on to heaven or hell, right? But the king, the Underking, who is the person that kind of rules over the Bone Quarter, just confirmed that there is no Sleeping City. It's been a lie that's been told to everyone in the world, basically as a comfort that when you die, you have the choice to move on to the Sleeping City if you make it past the gates of the Bone Quarter. And now that they're there, we found out that Bryce didn't really make the drop properly, so her first light that comes from making the drop didn't leave her body the way that it should, and the Underking wants her first light. So they're gonna have to fight like hell to get out of there in one piece, and I'm very interested to see where that's going to go. And now Rune and Ethan are working together, and I'm very interested to see what kind of role Ethan is going to play in this book, because he definitely wasn't a major player in book 1, and so the fact that he's such a major player in book 2, I mean, we've got his perspectives, we know what's going on in his head. Like, I'm very curious to see where things are going. I am now on my second cup of coffee, having a great time, living my best life, and I'm going to try to read as much of this as I can, so I will keep you updated.
Even in the hard times, you and I can weather any storm. Before I sleep, hear the crickets, see the moon, side by side and through. No limit to what we can do. Oh, we know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright. You and I, we got it. We don't need no more. Even in
Y'all, I'm freaking out. I'm freaking out. Okay, so Danica, no. Bryce and Hunt are fighting for their lives in the Bone Quarter right now, and Hunt is like unleashing his power, more power than either of them thought that he had, and he ended up like touching the gate that collects the first light that comes from when people pass over into the Bone Quarter, and he realizes like he can channel that. Well, Bryce realized it, and he ends up taking all the power from the gate, and he says to Bryce, "Light it up, Bryce," and I'm dead. I want to die with like happiness written on my features. Like, what the hell is happening? I'm freaking out. Oh, that line means so much to me, and it's solidified when I'm getting tattooed on this arm. I'm definitely getting lighted up, because there's no way. There's just no way. I'm freaking out. My head hurts and I'm confused. There's so much shit going down, and people are in danger, and I'm scared. My heart is palpitating so fast. I'm about to hyperventilate. I am on page 485. Shit is going down, and I'm so terrified. Rune, Hunt, Bryce, Therian, Cormac, they're all in deep with this rebel business, and they just tanked one of the biggest operations that the rebels are doing because they don't want any part of it anymore. They're killing Veneers, and they are ruthless on this side of the rebel situation. Pippa, who is heading the rebel front on this end, is just a hot mess of a person. Like, she's such a bitch. And Emil is out there somewhere, and Pippa knows where he is. Cormac was shot. People are being chased behind, and everybody is just too involved, and I'm hurting. My body hurts, my heart hurts, but I also have a theory, so I want to get it out into the ether before it actually comes to fruition. But Rune has been in contact with another soldier agent in the rebellion, Agent Daybright, and he's been able to speak with her in a mind-to-mind connection. And I think that it's the new governor of Crescent City. I forget her name. Celestina. I'm pretty sure it's her. She's Agent Daybright. And if it's her, I'm gonna lose my shit, first of all. Secondly, send me help, because I'm freaking out. I'm freaking out. I have 3 hours and 20 minutes left of this audiobook. I am going to try my best to finish it today. But my heart it's just, I have no words. I can't even form coherent sentences right now. But they just blew themselves into the water. Not blew themselves. They jumped into the water because they're being chased by the Hind and by Braxian, I think his name is. And like, they're being hunted. People know that they are a part of this rebellion now, and shit is going down. And they are now in the water, and things are going to happen, and if anybody dies, I'm out. I will throw the book, I will leave, I will be gone. I can't do it. Okay, right after my last slight anxiety attack over this book, I ended up reading a little bit more, and I got to the chapter where they have finally had sex. Like, after, now what? I'm 500 pages in. After 1,300 pages, we finally have penetrative sex, people. It has happened. I am happy about it. Oh my god, like, it was a hot scene. We finally, like, saw them, like, mate. They have officially mated. They are mated together. Like, it's official, and I'm freaking out. And then on top of that, while they were having sex, things got so hot, steamy, and powerful that Bryce teleported both of them into another part of this underwater ship. They ended up getting picked up by another group of, like, the underwater region that has, like, this really cool, like, submarine thing, underwater ship that can camouflage itself. So the people that were hunting them behind, and the other one that I can't think of, the Hellhound or whatever, they were searching for them, and they couldn't find them because they were in this camouflaged underwater thingamabob. And they did it, and oh my god. I was hyperventilating during that scene, and it was so hot and so sexy, and Bryce and Hunt's, like, power connected the two of them together, and I think that's why she was able to teleport, but because their power together gives her more powers, just like their power together gives him more powers. So there's just so many things. I'm tongue-tied. I'm, like, so ready to finish this. I am so close to the end, even though I still have 300 pages left. I'm so close to the end, though, and I'm so excited. I cannot wait for it to be over, but also I've heard the ending of this book is, like, scream-worthy, so we shall see. Hey, y'all. So I wanted to give my last final, like, big update on the plot until I finish this book, because I am going to hunker down for the next 2 hours and get this book done. I am nervous, to say the least, but I'm definitely excited to see where this is going to go. I have a lot of theories about what's going to happen, who's hiding what, and I don't really know how to formulate those theories, so I'm going to just wait and tell you if I was right at the end, and just have to trust my, that I'm telling you the truth, that I guessed it or not. But the last thing that happened is Bryce is now officially a princess. She has unknowingly claimed her spot on the throne, not the throne, but as a princess, and her dad is not letting her live that shit down, so she called in a few favors to help Juniper get her spot that she's been gunning for the last 2 years, which Juniper is not happy about, but Bryce kind of fucked up there and did some things that she shouldn't have, but it is what it is. And now she kind of has to step into her role as Princess Danon. And she's not happy about that. She's not happy about not being a Quinlan anymore, and she doesn't know how to tell her mom. And Hunt just found out that she has to take upon that role. And when she was out and about with Hypaxia, who is the newest queen for the witches, her name is Queen Hypaxia. She kind of had to step into this role when her mother died recently, right about the same time as the summit that happened in the spring, that happened in the first book. And so she and Hypaxia were kind of bonding over not really knowing how to fall into a role such as this one. And as they were out and about, they end up getting attacked by demons that are basically only summoned by the Princess of Hell. And the Princess of Hell have been gunning for Bryce since the beginning of this book, and you're now seeing that come into fruition, but they actually ended up almost killing Ethan, the wolf, and that was scary. Like, watching that happen, I was sitting in my father-in-law's house like, no, he better not die or I'm gonna lose it. So I'm very curious to see where this is going. Also, I really do think that the Agent Daybright that Rune has been talking to is the new governor. I'm, like, almost positive that it's her. So I'm really curious to see how that plays out. There's so many things that are about to come to fruition right now, and I'm not ready. I am not ready. And this, I know, I have a feeling it's going to leave off on a cliffhanger, and I'm not prepared for it. So I'm going to sit down, hunker in, finish this. Oh, also, Bryce figured out how to teleport without Hunt's power. She needs power from somebody else, but she figured out how to do it without Hunt's. So that was very interesting. But yeah, let's do this, bitch. Let's do this, bitch. I don't think that came out right. Let's do this. I'm ready to conquer it. Wish me luck.
2 a.m. in the car playing our favorite song. Turn it up, windows down, we sing along. The summer night has just begun. The moon is bright, let's have some fun. Oh, this is everything with you right next to me. So alive, and tonight I'm thinking that I don't wanna go. Calling sick in the morning, baby, don't leave. They don't need to know we're out here wild and free.
No. What the fuck did I just read? Oh my god, I'm so fucking shook right now. What the fuck? Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. A lot of stuff has happened. But the last line before the epilogue, I'm dying. Oh my god. I'm still not over it. I'm fucking freaking out. But basically, everything boiled down to the Ophian, I forget what they're called, the rebel people, where they're trying to make like a big distraction so they can go in and break into this, basically the Eternal City where the Big Asteri keep all of their shit, and break into one specific room that ties back to Danica and Sophie. Danica 2 years ago had been doing a whole bunch of research about Fae lineage, and she couldn't get into the Eternal City because she's too recognizable, so she got in contact with Sophie, who was part of the rebel resistance, and they had kind of made a plan for Sophie to get in and figure out what the information was so that she could get it back to Danica. Danica died before Sophie was ever able to do that, but she died with that knowledge. So Bryce, Hunt, Rune, Therian, and Cormac all created a plan to sneak into the Eternal City, get the information that they need to bring down the Asteri. Basically, they found it. We found out that the Asteri has been going back years and years, basically coming in and taking power, the first starlight and the second starlight, from the people that live there, from their powers, and feeding off of it in order to be the all-powerful beings that they are. And so they have been doing that for years, been taking over world after world after world, and when it didn't work, or the people found them out and tried to overthrow them, they would flee from that and move into a different world. And so Bryce goes to do that. She figures that out. She wants to kill people. We figure out that the Hind was a secret agent the entire time, and that's who she's been talking with Rune. It wasn't freaking the governor or whatever, but it was the Hind, who the entire series, you know her as the person that like did all of the Asteri's bidding, all of Shahar's bidding, and was like the Pollux, who's the other big bad angel guy. They were like mates, and they would always like hang out together and fuck and whatever. And you find out that she was really like a double agent the whole time, and then things are happening, people are gonna die, and I mean, oh my god, Rune and Hunt ended up getting captured by the Asteri because they did everything they could to make sure that Bryce got away, because she had all the information to take the Asteri down, and she ends up opening up a portal with the intentions of going to Hell, because Hell has been the world that's been trying to overthrow the Asteri this whole time, but the Asteri had built this big picture of Hell, but the 7 layers of Hell, all of the chasms or whatever, were just old world that had caught onto them and they had left. And so, oh my god, there's so much information. Oh my god, my freaking head hurts. So she's like, I'm gonna go to Hell, I'm gonna find Adis, and I'm going to figure out a way to come back and overthrow the Asteri. I'll bring all of the demons or whatever back to this world so we can figure out how to overthrow the Asteri, and I'm gonna get Hunt back and I'm gonna get Rune back. But she ends up jumping into the portal world, and she gets there and she doesn't understand why nobody can understand her. She doesn't get it, and everyone's confused. And so she's like, yo, where's Adis at? I just need to find him so that I can figure this out. I need to figure this out. And she starts to finally understand that they know the old language of the Fae. So she starts speaking in the tongues of the old language of the Fae. And this big bad Fae prince walks in, looks a lot like Rune, mind you. And she's like, it looks like Rune. It's like almost exactly like Rune. Has the pointed ears. This person is a Fae. And the last line before the epilogue. The male stepped forward, tucking in his wings. He smiled slightly and said in the old language, in a voice like glorious night, "Hello, Bryce, Quinlan. My name is Resand." Resand. From a cord of thorns and roses. All of it's connected. I feel like I've just been like, I just stepped into a whole new world, and Sandra Mass is a fucking genius. She's a genius. She's a genius. And you know what? I thought about it when I was reading the first Crescent City series, that maybe this was like a very modern world of what ACOTAR was, especially with all the Fae. But now I'm convinced that Throne of Glass is also connected. And I know that Becca just did a whole video on like how these things are connected. And now I have to go watch it now, but I haven't read Throne of Glass, so I can't do that. But oh, my brain hurts. Also, there's another heir to the Fendir line. Apparently, Sabine had a sister that sold to this like mystic who's able to like, they submerge you in this weird gel thing and you are able to like know the secrets of the universe or whatever. And one of the mystics happened to be an alpha Fendir. And so that's all coming into fruition, and oh my god, Hunt and Rune are in grave danger, and I don't know what's going to happen, and I need this third book like yesterday, and it just came out on Tuesday. I don't know what I'm gonna do for the next year, but I'm totally, my mind, I cannot. I'm losing it. I have no brain cells left. Obviously, 5 out of 5 stars. Obviously, the best book I'm going to read all year. I mean, nothing's going to top it. Nothing is going to top it. I don't even know why I have my bookmark in here. Not necessary. I want to reread it again so I can pick up on all the little things I missed, because I know I missed things. But oh my god, I'm freaking out. Resand, are you telling me that in the next book, we're going to get Feyre, Bryce, Hunt, Cassian? All in one book? No. And now I understand why she's waiting until she writes the next ACOTAR book. Oh my god, I'm losing it. My mind is blown. I'm not gonna have any more coherent thoughts after this. Like, this is as messy as it's gonna get, and this is what you're getting from me. So I really hope that you enjoyed this video. I might come back tomorrow, just wrap everything up, give my final thoughts, try to master what the hell is going on in my brain right now, because I'm legitimately freaking out. So I hope that you enjoyed whatever this mess was. It's going to be a very, very long video, so if you made it to the end, like, you are a true one. But oh my god, of all the things I was expecting from the ending of this book, that was not it. I mean, I had an inkling, a little baby inkling, but I didn't think. Oh my god, I'm dead. I'm actually dead. Okay, I'm gonna go now, bye. Hi friends, I hope you're doing well. I just wanted to come on here and close out this vlog. I know I said this before, but I really appreciate it if you made it to the end of this video. I just finished editing it, and it's a very, very long video, so I appreciate you so, so much. But I just wanted to quickly wrap up my thoughts now that I am a little less crazed with the hype of reading the ending of House of Sky and Breath. I just wanted to come on, quickly wrap up my thoughts, give you my overall opinions on the series, and just tell you my thoughts, even though I feel like it's pretty easy for you guys to figure it out. But obviously I reread House of Earth and Blood in this video. My tabs are incredibly satisfying, and I gave this a 5 out of 5 stars for my 3rd time reading it. I really enjoyed it. Definitely picked up on a lot of things that I didn't notice my first time around. Something that I definitely didn't talk about as I read through the series was my findings of the small things that I felt like tied into the ACOTAR series, as well as what I've read of the Throne of Glass series, just because I find that to be a big spoiler, and I was planning on spoiling these, but if you want to go back and read those series, I don't want to spoil the events of that. But There were some things that I definitely caught on to, some things that made me feel like maybe the series was connected. I know I mentioned it last night, but I definitely felt like this could have been an intertwined series with the way that she wrote this, but I definitely picked up on a few things here and there that I was very, very intrigued by, but I kind of let it fall to the back of my mind thinking like, no way, this is not connected. I'm just reading into it too much. But I'm glad that now that I know this is connected, like, I'm glad that I picked up on some of those things. But I definitely want to watch Becca's video where she talks about how everything is connected, because I know I missed a whole bunch of other stuff too. It's been a long time since I read ACOTAR, so I'm sure there's something that I missed. And then, of course, we read House of Sky and Breath, and I loved it so much. I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars. I still think the first one is the better book of the two, but I love this book just as, like, it's so good. It's 5 stars. It's absolutely immaculate. The planning that goes into not only writing a full brand new series with a whole new world and new characters, but somehow finding a way to tie it back into a series that you've already written. And if it's also connected to Throne of Glass, like 2 series that you've already written, like, that's absolutely genius. Like, I don't know how she did it, but I fell in love with the characters even more in this book. I love the fact that we got so many more perspectives. I think the perspective that I could have done without in this book was probably Therian, but I love that I got some Ethan in here. I love that I got Rune's perspective, obviously Hunt's perspective, Bryce's perspective. I also love that we got a little bit more of the side characters like Juniper and Fury, and some of the like more gray area characters like Baxian and the Hind. Like, there were so many things that added so much depth to the story that I really, really enjoyed. I also liked that we got some more information on some LGBTQI+ representative characters in here. We had Juniper and Fury, we had Dex, who is gay and he was dating a guy named Mark, then we had Hypaxia and Celestina, which I didn't even mention, but Hypaxia and Celestina are forbidden lovers because obviously they can't be together. One's a governor, one's a queen, and not supposed to happen, but that was like really, really awesome to find out. Like, I'm just liking that there's more representation. Obviously, I feel like this definitely should have happened a lot sooner in her series, but I'm glad that it's starting to happen a little bit more. But overall, I really, really enjoyed it. I cannot wait to go back and do a reread and read through everything again and pick out more things that I definitely missed. But I would love to know if you've read this series already, or if you're just watching this because you don't care to know, like, to read it yourself and you just wanted to watch a fun, entertaining vlog. I would love to hear your thoughts. Let me know if you did read House of Sky and Breath, how you reacted to the ending of that book, because I don't think there's been an ending that has shocked me as much as that did, honest to God. But I'm just really, really glad that you made it to the end of this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did make it to the end, leave a moon emoji, you can leave a sword emoji, you can leave a cat emoji. You can read, do they have a lightning bolt emoji, whatever, any of those that work, anything that goes with the vibes of the series, you're more than welcome to leave it. But I love you so much. Thank you so much for sticking with me throughout this very, very long video. If you want to see more spoilery vlogs from me, let me know. I can definitely get better at it as I go on. This is not my best one, but I had a lot of fun doing it. Anyways, that is the end of this video. I really, really hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure to give it a big old thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave. And of course, leave any comments, questions, and suggestions in the comment section below. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.
Thanks, baby. Turn it down.